In the Australian Senate chamber, things didn't just get heated, they snapped. One phrase about race, land, and power was enough to trigger a full procedural meltdown in real time. Points of order flying, accusations of racism being shouted across the chamber, order completely collapsing. This wasn't debate anymore. This was a political fault line exploding on live parliamentary microphones. Senator Thorpe stood her ground on Indigenous rights and land negotiations. Senator Hughes fired back over inflammatory language, and suddenly the chair was losing control of the room. What started as a speech ended as a parliamentary breakdown nobody could contain.
Is that racism? Is that racism? Can I just call out racism in this chamber right now, please? Chair, President, call it out.
Point of order.
An accusation made in this chamber,
Senator
and I would
Thorpe,
like Senator Thorpe to withdraw.
Senator Hughes, you have a point of order?
Yes, I'd just like to point out that Senator Thorpe has just made a comment about me that I think she should withdraw in its inference. Well, in fact, it's direct calling.
Senator Thorpe?
What's your take on this heated exchange? Who made the strongest point? Drop your thoughts in the comments and join the conversation below.
What? What are you asking me to do? President, what are you asking me to do?
Senator Thorpe, I've just had
you
a point of order.
You want me to finish reading it?
That you actually made, I did hear what Senator Hughes said, and
you don't see that as racist?
Well, that is not my call to make. However, are you making a point of order?
I'm making a point of order that I'm in my workplace and I don't need racists being racist to me while I'm reading my speech. Can you please make sure that I am not targeted with racism while I'm trying to do my job, please?
Senator Thorpe, Senator Hughes.
I don't think it's appropriate for Senator Thorpe to be referring to anyone in this place as racist, and I would ask her to withdraw. I would ask her to withdraw. That is absolutely inappropriate, and I will not be referred to by you as anything, let alone that.
Senator Hughes, take your seat. Senator Hughes. Senator Hughes. Senator Hughes. Senator Hughes, you are not helping, and you... Senator Hughes and Senator Thorpe. Senator Thorpe and Senator Hughes. Thank you. Now, Senator Thorpe, I heard what Senator Hughes said, and I didn't hear anything that was... No. Now, what I will ask is, so Senator Thorpe, if you would like a review of the Hansard, then I can certainly ask for a review of the Hansard.
I would like that, please, because I will not stand for racism in my workplace.
Senator Thorpe, you are not helping the situation by repeating that claim about Senator Hughes. I would ask that you withdraw that imputation.
I will not withdraw until you understand that I've just been racially vilified while I'm reading my speech.
Senator Thorpe. Sorry, Minister.
I think if it might assist the chamber, there's obviously a disagreement that's gone on here. I think your suggestion that the Hansard be reviewed and that the President or yourself come back to the chamber at a later date might be the best way to facilitate this evening.
Senator Hughes.
I would like to just make the point that the constant reference to Australians who are born here from a different heritage referred to as colonisers is not helpful in any way. So perhaps we need to refer to the Hansard in more way than one.
So Senator Hughes and Senator Thorpe, I will confer with the President and also the Clerk, and we will review the Hansard and we will come back and report back to the Senate. Senator Thorpe.
Acting Deputy President, I appreciate that. Can I continue to read my speech?
You have the call.
Thank you.
What we just witnessed in the Senate was not just a routine procedural disagreement, but a full-scale breakdown in parliamentary order centered around one of the most sensitive fault lines in Australian politics, involving race, land rights, and political language. At the heart of the exchange, Senator Lidia Thorpe was delivering remarks focused on the rights of traditional owners, particularly in relation to resource negotiations and fracking approvals, emphasizing the need for free, prior, and informed consent while arguing that Indigenous communities continue to face structural disadvantage when dealing with powerful corporate interests. However, the tone of the chamber shifted dramatically when her comments were met with objections from Senator Hollie Hughes, who raised a point of order suggesting the remarks were inappropriate and potentially offensive. And from there, the situation escalated quickly as Senator Thorpe responded strongly, insisting that she was being racially vilified while performing her parliamentary duties and demanding that the alleged comments be formally addressed, triggering immediate procedural confusion with multiple interruptions and competing calls from both sides of the chamber. What followed was a classic parliamentary standoff, where the presiding officer attempted to restore order while also acknowledging that the matter may require a formal Hansard review before any conclusion could be reached, while Senator Hughes pushed back, arguing that language used in the debate, particularly references to historical and cultural framings such as colonizers, can itself be inflammatory and unhelpful in a modern parliamentary context, adding another layer of complexity to an already tense exchange. As tempers rose, both senators continued to insist on their interpretations of what had been said and how it should be understood, while the chair repeatedly attempted to de-escalate the situation and redirect the chamber back to procedural order. This clash reflects a much larger ongoing debate in Australian politics, highlighting the deep tension between Indigenous political advocacy and mainstream parliamentary discourse, particularly when discussions involve land rights and resource extraction, historical responsibility, and colonial legacy, and the language of racism and political accountability. Supporters of Senator Thorpe argue that raising systemic disadvantage is essential when discussing Indigenous land negotiations and environmental approvals, while critics argue that framing political disagreement through the lens of racism risks escalating division inside already sensitive parliamentary debates. What makes this exchange significant is not just the argument itself, but the institutional friction it reveals as Parliament becomes the stage where two fundamentally different narratives of Australia collide, one focused on historical justice and Indigenous sovereignty, and the other focused on procedural neutrality and national unity in language. And when those worldviews meet inside a high-pressure chamber, even a single phrase can trigger procedural chaos, resulting not in resolution, but in a formal deferral, a review of the official record, and a reminder that in modern politics, language itself has become one of the most contested battlegrounds.